You're listening to the Podfiliate Podcast, the podcast for everything affiliate marketing and how to quit your sucky job and work from home. Now, here's your host,
Hey, what's going on, guys? Rob Reese
Reese.
here, helping you succeed along with Traffic Domination. We've got a special guest with us today, the one, the only, John Crestani of Super Affiliate System. What's going on, John? How you doing, my man?
Doing well.
Dude.
Just doing my marketing shenanigans as usual.
Dude, listen, this is our second take, and it still amazes me that you have this super Cali thing going on about you. Are you like the typical Cali surfer kind of guy? Did you grow up doing that type of stuff?
Short answer is yeah. I did grow up surfing. For a longboard. I grew up in Pacific Palisades, surfing there. But I really got into kite surfing over time, which is, I think, just an unbelievably amazing sport. It's really exciting, and I've traveled all over the world doing it. The ability to jump and fly while you're surfing just throws everything over the edge. It's unbelievably awesome.
I just want to say everything about you is like rad. I want to use the word rad all the time. There's some about you, man. But the reason, guys, I'm so excited to have him here. He's kind of like one of the guys that I look up to when it comes to online marketing and affiliate marketing. And he's started an incredibly successful business online, and he's really the epitome of what it means to be super successful online. And I wanted to talk with you just a little bit, John, about kind of your journey and really what it takes to become somebody at your level of success, somebody who's actually seen the level of success that you have, and what the makeup of a person kind of that you've seen in the time that you've been doing it online is what really gets people to where you're at now.
Sure. So, where do you want me to start?
So first of all, what were you doing before you got into the online game at all? Like, I've heard the story, but plenty of people have not. What were you doing before you became the John Crestani everybody knows and loves now?
Sure. Well, to back it real far up there, I was in college, and I was actually, it was I think it was after Rush Week for fraternities, right? And I'd been going through college. I was a business major. I was in marketing, and I'd been getting like fed up with a lot of things in college. Going to business school, the stuff we were learning was so far detached from what what it seemed like it would take to make money, right? I was working as a waiter. I was trying to make more money with like tips at the time and stuff like that, and I was just, there seemed to be I couldn't like realize how learning what colors they used in a Nike magazine ad would help me make more money at the time. And then also I saw the cars that my professors were driving, and they were driving like Hondas and Subarus. And, the kids that went to my college, some of them were driving nicer cars than the teachers. And I was just like, what's going on here? Why am I learning from somebody who's, nothing against Honda or Subaru, but
it's kind of mediocre.
Why am I learning business from people who have zero experience doing this and aren't successful? And then I was, going through like internships. I was in an internship as well at the time, and I was going through this fraternity rush, and I just realized like the business world and all these societies and stuff, it was about kissing butt. It was like, it wasn't about adding value. It was about like kind of, you just had to like kiss the next person's butt to try to get into these good job positions and get promises. And it just seemed so stupid to me. And I said, there's got to be a better way. And I said, I don't want to be working for somebody the rest of my life. I don't want to be kissing butt to make money. And I said, I want to be a millionaire now. So that frustration really fueled me. I'm like, I'm going to figure out a way. And I read some books and I went to some events.
It's like when life like just kind of kicks you in the balls, it was reality, and you're just like, screw this. I want to make my own path. You said that you were a waiter. I remember the days I was a waiter. I don't know if you have stories like this about when you were a waiter, but
you're a waiter.
I was a waiter, and I remember we used to the waiter life. Listen, if you want to become an entrepreneur, okay, waiters seem to have some of like the craziest idea. I remember dropping mushrooms on one of my shifts, and it was the craziest shift ever. And then of course we all get together at the end of the night counting our tips, and we're like, there's got to be something more than this. And of course, being high on mushrooms, you start like getting into real crazy thoughts. But what I noticed is that there was a real drive for people who want to make something out of themselves, who work hard for their money. And then when you get to see that in real life, people who make a ton of money, they're usually people who are thinking outside of the box, and that's kind of what brought you there. Now, thinking outside of the box is never always unique. It's not always unique, but it's certainly in your own framework, and you've certainly come up with that with your system. Why don't you give us a little bit of an understanding as to why Super Affiliate System exists and what it does for people who are looking to start a business online?
Yeah, sure. So, Super Affiliate System. That's so how that kind of came about was it's actually a really funny story. I was traveling in Morocco, right? I just came from Tarifa, Spain. I just came from Seville, Andalusia. I can't pronounce, but they do their S's.
They have that
Andalusia, and I'd been at Sevilla, and I'd been at Tarifa, Spain. I was actually kite surfing at the time, and I was kind of bored, so I had been following the route of The Alchemist. If you ever read the book The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, it's my favorite book, and it's the story of this shepherd boy who travels from Spain to Morocco to Egypt. And I said, okay, I'm going to do that. And I was running my business at the time. Things were going pretty well. I was, at this point, I'm making millions of dollars a year, 0 employees still. And I was in Morocco. I was traveling to Marrakesh, and I met a guy who was an editor for Forbes, and we had been talking. We were talking on the bus together, and he was like, "What are you doing out here?" I said, "I'm kite surfing and stuff." He's like, "What do you do? Like, where are you staying?" And I was staying at this nice place. When I'm traveling, I'm backpacking, right? I have everything in a backpack. I have a big scraggly beard. And he said, "No, he's like, you run an internet business?" He's like, "Do you do all right?" Like, I'm like, "I do all," he's like, "Can you afford to live?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm making millions a year." He's like, "No way." And he just couldn't believe it. He couldn't believe it. I'm like, "Bro, like, I'll show you where I'm staying. I'll show you like we can hang out. I'll show you." Like,
the social proof, right?
It's legit. I'm I actually flew out some of my friends first class to hang out with me in Morocco. It's my birthday. We're going on like a big safari. So you can come with us.
We need to be friends. I need friends like you.
Well, at the time I was like a little more stupid and crazy with my money because I was just, my come up was pretty fast. So I would just offer to pay for stuff for people because, not everybody has a ton of money.
You got it, right?
Yeah, so, I wanted to party with my friends in Morocco, so I was like, hell, I'll buy him a trip. So this editor from Forbes was just flabbergasted. He's like, "Dude, this is insane. Like, bro, I have to do a story. He's like, how many people do you have working for you? I'm like, I don't have anybody working for me. And he was just like, his mind was blown, and and he decided to do, a little more research on me, get references. He did an article on me in Forbes, which ended up actually making the front page of Forbes. The title of it was something like how this 20-something-year-old kid with no employees makes $500,000 a month, and this article came out and it just went super viral. And I got thousands, and I got so many people, because I had social media accounts. They were public. I didn't make them private, but I ended up getting just thousands of people hitting me up every week, asking me. They're like, "Yo, how do you do your internet business stuff? Like, how do you do it? Like, how do I do it?" So I decided, I wasn't gonna reply to thousands of people, and so what I did was I actually created a course. I've gone through courses myself, online courses, and I've seen a lot of other people do them. So it wasn't that complicated for me to figure out how to do it. And I created a course, and I just, I offered it to people. I called it the Super Affiliate System. And the first version of that, it was actually just a Dropbox link. I just shot a couple videos teaching people how to do, how I do affiliate marketing, which is my business. It's like commission-only sales online. And I upload the videos to a Dropbox folder, and I would, if people paid me $5,000, I'd share the link with them for my Dropbox folder. That was how rudimentary it was at the time. And I don't know, since then I've made the course a little better, and I've updated it every year, and it's really exciting, kind of seeing how it's been changing lives, and the testimonials.
You actually have such an incredible kind of customer base, because nearly everyone that I've ever seen that speaks about your system speaks so highly. I mean, affiliate marketing and online marketing as a general rule really has kind of this negative connotation to it, but really you've provided an entire system that I've had the pleasure of looking at, that I'm currently promoting, and it is absolutely a breath of fresh air of what you teach people in there. It really does show how you can go from literally nearly nothing to building a full-time online automated business that you can really, at one point or another, set it and really let it do its job in the background while you get to do what you want to do with your life, which is really what you're all about. You're all about having that fun lifestyle, enjoying the time that you have while here, and all at the same time running a successful online business that is repeatable and sustainable. And it's really just showing people how to put products in front of people that people already want and buy. Why don't you give us maybe the elevator pitch while we're ending here, because we're coming short on time, but I want people to understand that they're going to be able to take a look at more in-depth look at what you offer in the webinar that's going to be found in the description below this podcast. So why don't you give us kind of a little bit of a breakdown before we end off, and then maybe you can give us one of your crazy stories of your earlier days.
Yeah, sorry I went on so long about the Morocco story. But no, kind of like the basics of the super affiliate system. Well, I'd say the elevator pitch is I explain a lot of like how affiliate marketing works and whatnot on the webinar. But I would say the sort of elevator pitch is you've got to first off, if you're going to learn marketing, or if you're going to learn any sort of business or entrepreneurship, learn from people who are where you want to be. Okay, first and foremost. And part of how I'm a multimillionaire. I've 0 employees, and I have a very I don't have any employees. I don't have any investors. I have a very free lifestyle, and I think that's pretty important if you're running a business. If you don't want employees, Learn from somebody who doesn't have employees. If you just want to work from home, and obviously I'm working from home. The other thing I would say is you want to start with something simple that you can commit to. There are a lot of businesses that require a lot of software, a lot of moving pieces. I know a lot of people have been really excited about Amazon lately, or starting an agency or consulting, and one of the things that all the people who are talking about Amazon don't really mention, or a lot of them don't mention, is first off, it's a cash flow negative business. And I recommend anybody who's starting, don't go into a cash flow negative business, meaning don't go into a business where you're going to have to invest a lot of money up front in inventory to hopefully reap back some margin of return. And similar businesses to Amazon, starting a physical products business like on Amazon is stock investing or real estate. Again, you're going to have to invest lots of money to hopefully get a 10% return, and that's what they don't really tell you. The other thing I would tell people about is, like if you're going to start an ad agency or a consulting business, don't think you can go into those businesses without having a knack for sales. The nice thing about starting a consulting business is, yes, you can do that without any employees. An ad agency, you have to have assistants and employees. But with a consulting business, it's cash flow positive, and it's something. But again, you have to be willing to pitch and to prospect, pitch, and close people. And if you're not willing to constantly be on the phone and closing and all that stuff, it's going to be hard for you to run these businesses. And I believe affiliate marketing, it's the best place to start, because the foundation of all of these businesses involves marketing, and affiliate marketing is, it's the starting place for almost all internet entrepreneurs. From what I've seen, so many people have started in this space, and it's the simplest business model. So, I tell people, start there, and entrepreneurship is a journey, but start simple. Start simple.
That's absolutely correct. I totally am in agreement with everything that you're saying. So I see a bunch of books, and I'm a book nerd. I love reading books. I love reading a lot of just crazy material. I see you got the Necronomicon back there. So as an entrepreneur,
you saw that?
Yeah,
dude, that cost
dude.
a lot. I had to get that from like a rare, like a cult bookstore in New Orleans. Actually,
that is so insane. I know that,
it's like
in Scandinavian countries, you're going to get some of the craziest material also. But anyway, that's for another day, man. So as an entrepreneur, leave with us the one book that you think every aspiring entrepreneur should read.
Okay. Can I do a fiction and a nonfiction?
Absolutely. Give us what you got, man.
Okay. So nonfiction, which is let me see if I have it right here. So nonfiction is The Millionaire Fastlane. Okay, by MJ DeMarco.
Millionaire Fastlane. That'll be
Millionaire Fastlane by MJ DeMarco.
In the description, guys.
Have you read it?
No, I have not.
Okay, so it's sort of like it's like the 4-hour work week on steroids. It's I think it's the best. That book fundamentally changed a lot of my mindset around business and creating leverage in your business, and where you're not creating leverage, and enabling yourself to, just be on the next level. Great book by a very successful person who's also an affiliate marketer. He was doing lead gen. He was generating leads for limo drivers and selling them to limo drivers.
Awesome.
The second book is The Diamond Age, a young lady's illustrated primer by Neal Stephenson, Neal Stephenson. It's a sci-fi book about the future, and it's about the future of education, and I believe sci-fi authors are actually the most creative people in our world, and if you want to learn what the future is going to look like, read sci-fi.
That's absolutely incredible. All right, so we got the two best books.
Read sci-fi and do mushrooms if you want to know.
That's the lesson, kids. That's the lesson, kids. and do it while kite surfing. Okay, make sure you drop those mushrooms and kite surf. But I do not endorse that. This is not for you to take and run with, guys. I am not a lawyer. I am not a doctor, so don't take my advice in that. But guys, thank you so much for listening and tuning in. John, it was a pleasure having you on, my friend. I hope that in the future, maybe I can get you on for a couple of other more kind of laser-focused podcasts. I know you're a busy guy, but is there anything else that you want to leave with our listeners?
No, I just say, believe in yourself and stay focused. It's believing in yourself. It's a chicken and egg scenario, because if you don't believe in yourself, you won't stay focused because you'll doubt what you're doing. But if you pick a path and stay focused on it, it all works out.
All right, my man. All right, my man. This is Rob Reese saying sayonara, along with John Crestani, the special guest for today on Traffic Domination, Wealth with Rob, robreese.com. Check us out online. Make sure you follow us. Go ahead and subscribe to our iTunes and Google and all the other places, YouTube. But until next time, guys, this is Rob Reese saying, I am out. Please succeed and do well in your business. Go ahead and check out the webinar also in the description below, and we will see you next time. Take it easy, guys.
You're listening to the Podfiliate Podcast, the podcast for everything affiliate marketing and how to quit your sucky job and work from home. Now, here's your host, Rob Reese.